What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive, you guys, week 9 of the GBA, the Global Battle Association. We are the St. Louis Rampardos. We are rocking an impressive 7-1 record, clinching the playoffs, of course, and hopefully continuing our reign of destruction, taking on OldManTup and the Pittsburgh Pirattatas, or Pirattatas, or whatever you want to call them. We're about to take on Tup. If you guys missed the pregame, it is on the screen in an annotation. Of course, if you guys are new, make sure you subscribe and definitely show your love on that thumbs up button down below. 1,500 likes, guys, would be absolutely amazing. Show your love there. My pregame, I talked all about my teams and my sets. I'm ready to rock. OldManTup and I played week 5, and I was able to come up with a 2-0 victory. So we're about to have, of course, the team reveal here in just a moment. I'm actually very excited for this because this is like the moment of truth, of course, and it's always the nerve-wracking experience here. So obviously, you guys know my team, and I'm very curious to see what his team is and see if I predicted it right here. Jump right into the match right about now. Good luck, of course, to Tup, and I predicted his team pretty much to a T, except he does not bring Amoongus. He actually brought Aromatisse, so I'm not exactly surprised about that, actually. We're going to swap out the Amoongus in the layout for Aromatisse, and we're going to have a very interesting battle ahead of us here. He really wanted to handle our Mega Sableye, and that's why he brought Aromatisse. So part of me is thinking I should lead with Nidoqueen here, because Nidoqueen can take a hit from the Tornadus, but I'm also curious whether or not Terrakion has a good matchup against the Aromatisse. Let me just double check. A defensive Aromatisse versus Terrakion. I'm not doing anything to it, so I really do think I need to lead with Nidoqueen here. If he leads with Tornadus, that puts me in a bad spot. That's the only thing I'm concerned about here, because do I want to lead with Mew, but then I'll take a knockoff? I think, see, if he predicts me to lead Mega Sableye, he's gonna lead with Aromatisse. That's why I'm thinking I shouldn't lead. Actually, no, Rotom wouldn't be that bad either, because I could Volt Switch out. I think I have to lead with Nidoqueen here. If he leads with if he leads with Tornadus, that's fine. I could take one hit from a Tornadus and kill it back. He might just U-turn out. It's a good opportunity for getting my Stealth Rocks, though, and it'll counter his Aromatisse really well. So let's lead with Nidoqueen. I might regret that decision, but this is a tough lead matchup. It really is. He's actually still thinking, so he might be debating whether I'm going to lead with Mega Sableye or not myself, because if I lead with Mega Sableye, which I've pretty much historically done every single week, is the timer going to run on him? Wow, I don't know if the timer actually ran out or if he was able to get it just on time, but that was very interesting. So we're going to jump right into the battle here. I'm going to lead with my Nidoqueen. Hopefully he's going to lead with Aromatisse. That would be the best case scenario if he leads with Aromatisse. I'm thinking the Tornadus is definitely a possible lead, but it won't hurt to get that Stealth Rocks damage if I'm able to get those rocks up. He's going to lead with Boomstick, which I'm assuming is the Tornadus. So he does lead with Tornadus. I do wish I had an opportunity to lead with the Terrakion, but it just seemed a bit too risky. So let's just double check my calcs here on this Nidoqueen versus Tornadus. Unless he's like Specs, I'm taking any hit from this thing. So an Ice Punch does have a very good chance to Oko, so I'm thinking that's our best play. If he switches, fine, but getting off a huge Ice Punch here to potentially knock this thing out is definitely my #1 priority. If he U-turns, that's fine. I'm not going to overpredict as the first turn. Getting up rocks would be nice, but to me, I think going for the Ice Punch here is the better play for now. He's going to go for the Hurricane. He actually hits the Hurricane. I can live this, though. We should have no problems living this. We do live it. He's going to take Life Orb damage, but we are going to, assuming he doesn't have some crazy investment on his Boomstick here, this should knock it out, and it does indeed knock it out. So Nidoqueen takes out the Tornadus on the first turn of the match. So Nido kills Tornadus with Ice Punch. Unfortunately, though, Nidoqueen is no longer a problem for his team because we're pretty much at a very low amount of health now, which is not good, not what I wanted. I'm thinking he might go into Azumarill here to Revenge Kill. That could give me an opportunity to set up my Stealth Rocks. He can't go into Salamence. He could go into Alakazam. He's going to go into Alakazam, so I'm not too surprised about that. Now, I could give him a free sub here by getting on my Stealth Rocks, or I could try to break his sub by attacking. I'm thinking this substitute is very obvious. I don't think he's going to go for the Shy Shock yet. Do I want Stealth Rocks? Are Stealth Rocks more important? Or is a non-substituted Alakazam more important? Nidoqueen does still outspeed Azumarill, but I'm sure he's carrying Aqua Jet, so there's that. Do I have a check for Heatran? I have Terrakion still, so I have a Heatran check. I also have Hydro Pump on Rotom. The obvious switch here would be to Chansey, but I don't want to take a knockoff either, and I don't want him to get a free sub up. Do I need to save Chesticles here? This is actually a very important turn of the match. I want to think about this for a second. Chesticles is a good matchup against Heatran, but he could be outspeeding. Aqua Jet from Azumarill puts me in a bad spot. I do like Poison Jab for the Aromatisse, though. Chansey is a really, really good switch in here against Alakazam, because I can take any hit from it and fire back, obviously, a Seismic Toss. I'm just a little bit worried about him having Substitute, because that's what he's shown Substitute pretty much every week. Let me just calc Alakazam, Mega Alakazam against Chansey at my spread. I should be able to take no problem. Yeah, I could take Psyshocks, no problem. Let me just double check one more thing here. Sorry for the delay. Let me just check what Psyshock does. Psyshock does about 40%, so we can definitely take 2. So I'm going to actually save Nidoqueen right now and go into Chansey. If he goes for the knockoff, then that's a great play on his part. I do think he's going to be carrying, obviously, the Dazzling Gleam this week for our Mega Sableye, so I'm curious to see what he's going to do. He's going to obviously Mega Evolve. The nice thing is actually, on his part, he's going to trace our Natural Cure, so paralyzing him is kind of pointless. But my Seismic Tosses will break his sub. Ideally, he goes for Dazzling Gleam here, or something like that. He's going to go for the Substitute, so he does go for the sub. I could have gotten Stealth Rocks up, but I will be able to break his subs here with Chansey, and I can take any hit from this thing. So I'm just going to go for the Seismic Toss. Not going to overpredict anything. I'm going to make a note that he does have Substitute, and he's at 75%. He does have the knockoff again this week. So again, I'm not too surprised. He's going to get rid of our Eviolite early in the match, which does stink for us. That really stinks for us, because now we don't have an Eviolite. But I'm able to kind of... I can take hits from this thing. I know I can take a Psyshock even without an Eviolite. Let me just see how much Psyshock does without Eviolite. It does, it's a 2-hit KO, so that is a little bit scary here. What I think I'm gonna do is go for the Psyshock, or go take the hit here, go for the Seismic Toss, take the 50%, then go into Mega Sableye on the next Psyshock. That seems to be my best play. Let's go for Seismic Toss, see what he's gonna do. He's probably got the Psyshock though. Same thing that happened our last matchup against each other is he was able to knock off the Chansey's Eviolite, which stinks. It definitely stinks. I don't want that to happen, but to me, this thing is a huge, huge threat. So if I can beat this Alakazam one-on-one, that would be huge. If he doesn't have Psyshock, we're actually in a really good spot right now. If for some reason he's carrying Psychic instead, we're in an amazing spot. But I think Psyshock Dazzling Gleam is his last 2 moves. That would be my prediction here. Because he didn't bring Dazzling Gleam week 5 and he regretted it because it would have been good against Sableye. But I think if he goes for Psyshock, I'll take the hit, bring him down a good amount, predict the switch, and he's going to go for Psyshock. So he does have it. It should do about 50% or so. It does indeed do about 50%. We're going to get the Seismic Toss off here. Now, this is kind of risky because, to me, my smart play here is to just go into Mega Sableye and kill this thing, because I will be able to OHKO this thing with a Shadow Sneak, predicting the Psyshock. If he Moonblast right now, that is a bad spot for us, but I do think Mirror Mirror is our play. We'll see if he tries to risk it here, because a Dazzling Gleam actually won't kill, so he can't Dazzling Gleam because it's not going to kill. It's only going to do a very small percentage. If he subs here, very interesting, but that would be kind of a wasted play as well. Dazzling Gleam only does like 20% even without my Eviolite, so I'm going to predict the switch here. Or I'm going to predict the Psyshock, because he has the Psyshock to kill me, and go into Mega Sableye. If he does indeed go for the Dazzling Gleam, then that's just an amazing prediction on his part. But to me, it's worth this risk here to save Chansey, give it a little bit more chance to maybe come in and get a Thunder Wave off on something. I don't want to lose Chansey just yet. Even without an Eviolite, I can actually take a hit from the Heatran. So he took a while to decide there, which worries me a little bit. Hopefully he does not go for Dazzling Gleam. If he went for Dazzling Gleam, that's just an amazing play. He goes for Substitute, actually. So that's kind of a bummer. Not a good situation for us, because now we actually are forced to go for the Shadow Sneak here. 2 Shadow Sneaks will kill him, but he will be able to get a Dazzling Gleam off on us, which stinks. Had I gone... That was a good play on his part. That was a very good play. Let me just see how Sableye handles this. We should have no problems taking one. Alakazam, I already have the calc up. Alakazam's Dazzling Gleam does 58 to 70%. We're going to go for Shadow Sneak. We're not going to over predict here. We're going to Mega Evolve. We're going to go for the Shadow Sneak, and 2 Shadow Sneaks will knock this thing out. There's a chance he tries to save it, which is fine, but if he does have the Dazzling Gleam, which I'm sure he does, he's going to knock us out here after this next turn. We're going to break his sub, though, which is good. I'm sure he's going to go for Dazzling Gleam here and do about 70% to us, 50 to 70%. He does have the Dazzling Gleam, not surprised. So that confirms that he makes the right play there. We do live the hit as predicted without a problem, even though I'm physically defensive. And I could easily go for a Shadow Sneak to kill this thing, or I could predict his switch here and recover. Now that's a really interesting play. I do think I should recover here. The Shadow Sneak is so incredibly obvious. I'm gonna go for the recover. I'm gonna take a really risky play here and recover, predicting him to switch out the Alakazam. This is a very, very risky play, but I'm feeling kind of ballsy here. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. I think he'll save this thing because he knows it dies to a Shadow Sneak. He does switch. We're gonna get a free recover off. That's huge. Into Aromatisse. Exactly what I was predicting. Perfect. So we get a recover off, and now we're actually in a good spot to be able to take potentially another Dazzling Gleam later. Now, let me look at Nidoqueen here, because I don't know if we can take a hit from this thing with a Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen's definitely my best bet. We're sitting at, what is that? Let me check my HP. 39 out of 165. So 39 out of 165 ends up being about 23%. So let's see what Aromatisse can do to us. If he's defensive Aromatisse, his Moonblast, we actually should live a Moonblast. So this could be a really good opportunity for us to get up our Stealth Rocks. So let's go into Chesticles here. If he goes for the Wish, good play on his part. I wouldn't be too surprised, but I want to see, you know, where this thing is at, what it's going to do. I should live a Moonblast. We should live this Moonblast if he's not offensively invested. And we do live the Moonblast, which is huge for us. So I do see that the Aromatisse has Moonblast. And this is a free chance for us to get up Stealth Rocks, which will kill the Alakazam on switching because it does not have Magic Guard anymore. Not going to think about it, just go for the rocks. I want to get that chip damage off on that Salamence. I want to get some, you know, kill the Alakazam on entry now. That could be huge. If he switches in Alakazam, fine. At that point, I feel like Chesticles has done its job, and saving it on that turn against the Alakazam earlier turned out to be very, very crucial because it's still alive. It actually was able to take that Moonblast, and now I'm able to either fire off a Poison Jab or get up my free Stealth Rocks, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for the Stealth Rocks here, which again will kill the Alakazam on entry, do 25% to the Salamence, do a little bit of damage to the Heatran, 12.5, and of course 12.5 to a Azumarill, which will definitely guarantee some kills that I need later on, especially with things like Rotom and stuff. He made a very, very good play by substituting earlier with the Alakazam when I switched into Sableye, but his saving of Alakazam was actually what did him in there, because he could have killed Sableye there. That was a really fortunate play on my part to get that recover off, because now Sableye is able to take hits again. Otherwise, it was previously at a range where it wasn't going to take any hits. He's done a good job, though. I mean, he's broken down our defensive core. I mean, Chansey is essentially useless at this point. I wouldn't say useless, but it's not going to take too many hits. And Nidoqueen is obviously at the very last sliver of health here. Sableye is back to where it should be. He's going to switch, so we're going to get a free Stealth Rocks here. He might go into that Kazam now. He's going to go into Bane, so he's going to go into his Heatran here. Now, I'm curious to see if he's got the Air Balloon. I want to pay attention. He does have Air Balloon. He's running Air Balloon pretty much every week. So now I got to think about this, because I could pop his Air Balloon. I get my rocks up, which is good. Do I need to save Nidoqueen at this point? I really don't think so. I think my best play here is just to fire off an Ice Punch, hopefully break his balloon, and then just to get a little bit of damage off him, because at this point I think we're okay to just let Chesticles die. I think. I mean, actually, Chansey might be the better switch. I just don't want to have him get up rocks right now. I just don't want him to have him get up. I guess it's not too big of a deal. The thing is, I don't have any other ground moves, so actually breaking his Air Balloon makes no difference to me. It's just a matter of whether I think it's worth saving Nidoqueen here. I can go into Chansey, take a Lava Plume, maybe Thunder Wave him, which would be really nice, actually, because nothing on his team wants to take a Thunder Wave. Chesticles still could be good because it does outspeed the Aromatisse, so let's actually go to Chansey here. A little bit weird. I'll save the Chesticles. If he goes for rocks, good play on his part. I mean, like I said, breaking this Air Balloon doesn't really matter to me because I don't have any other ground moves. So he's going to go for the Lava Plume, so we should be able to take this without a problem, actually. We're going to find out if he's defensive or not. It does about half. With the burn, it's actually going to kill us now because of the burn, which is kind of unfortunate. But at least we can put the pressure on him now. So Heatran has Lava Plume. But I can actually fire off a Thunder Wave. If he stays in and doesn't go for Lava Plume, that's fine. He's going to go for Lava Plume again. So he's going to kill Chansey. That's fine. So Chansey dies to Heatran. Now what this allows us to do is go into Terrakion now and fire off a big hit with close combat. But that's gonna bait in the, that's probably gonna bait in the, let me see what Rotom does really quick. If I go with Rotom here against the Heatran, let's say he's specially defensive because he might be pretty bulky. The Hydro Pump has a chance to kill if he's fully specially defensive, and we should have no problems outspeeding, especially if he's a defensive one. Let me just check that calc on the Chansey as well. Heatran against, let's say he's a defensive Heatran, Lava Plume. Yeah, that looks about right. So I'm going to say he's defensive, because if he was offensive, I don't think that would have been the same case. I think we could just go for a Hydro Pump here. Nothing on his team really wants to take it. If he goes into Salamence, it's fine. Aromatisse doesn't want to take it. This is a chance for an Oko. It's about 93%. Terrakion is so tempting because it'll kill with close combat, but really all it's doing is it's baiting the Aromatisse in on the close combat. Let me just see what Terrakion's close. It only does like 25%. It really doesn't do anything. So I think Luke's Mom is our best play. Come in here, go for a nice little Hydro Pump. We'll definitely kill. If he switches, that's fine, but I think a Specs Hydro Pump should do enough here to knock this thing out. It'll be really close, but I think we're in good shape. He's got to be running fully specially defensive to live this. So that is going to just knock him out. Not bad. So Rotom's going to kill Heatran with Hydro Pump. And that's huge, because now he doesn't have his Stealth Rocks up on the field. We have a nice Rotom here, full health, with the choice Specs. He might not have known I was Specs. Specs is the only way I was killing him there if he was specially defensive. So in comes Salamence, which of course I'm very worried about. Let's see how much Salamence is going to do to me. If he's like DD Salamence, I don't want to see... Let me look at Salamence here, because this is scary. I just gave him a free switch into Salamence. Now luckily I do have, unless he goes to +2, I'm okay. Because I do have Terrakion, which will outspeed. Let's say he's this Choice Scarf variant, just out of curiosity. We're taking an Outrage. We can take one Outrage. Hydro Pump does about, it's a 2-hit KO, Hydro Pump. So I'm thinking I should just go for the Hydro Pump here, just to get the damage off on him. Let's just go for it. He's gonna go for the Dragon Dance, so he's gonna go to +1. The Hydro Pump, as long as we don't miss, we should be alright here. Please don't miss this, Rotom. Yes. It should do over half. It does do over half. Perfect. So we're forcing him to attack us now. So Rotom here is looking really good. He has +1 attack. Of course, now an Outrage will kill, but a Dragon Claw will not, because we have just enough. We actually have 200 defense EVs instead of HP. So a Dragon Claw will not kill, but a Hydro Pump, or an Outrage will. At +1, assuming he's not adamant. He's going for the Outrage, so that will indeed knock us out, but at least I know he's locked into Outrage now. And we actually do die, so that's fine. I wasn't too surprised there. Salamence, Outrage, kills Rotom. He does get the Moxie boost here. I have to see whether or not Terrakion is going to take out a Salamence here, and what move I need to go for, because this is a little scary. Regular invested Salamence, which I'm assuming he is. A Poison Jab will not kill. A Close Combat will likely kill. Quick Attack will not. Oh, that's factoring in the Intimidate. Stupid Intimidate. Almost ruined this calc for me. A Close Combat will kill a Salamence at this range. It does 35 to 42%, assuming he's not defensive invested, which would be mind-blowing if he was. We do outspeed, so I'm going to go into aDrive here. He's locked into Outrage. We actually disconnect. Not sure what happened there. Alright guys, we are back. We had a little bit of disconnect issue, so we had to recreate the battle from where we were, but we're good now. His Salamence is Moxie boosted, and as you guys saw from before we recreated, I actually sent out aDriven, of course, which is our jolly Terrakion with max speed, and will be able to outspeed a Salamence here, even after the Dragon Dance. Now, close combat from my calcs does show me, because he's not intimidated, as long as he doesn't have some ridiculous amount of bulk, we will be able to kill him with the close combat. I don't want to risk missing a Stone Edge. Poison Jab actually does less than close combat, so we're going to go for close combat here. It is obviously resisted, but it should have no problems taking this thing out unless he's got some crazy bulk investment, and that is going to indeed knock him out and put us at a very good spot right now. So Terrakion kills Salamence with close combat. So now he's down to just a few Pokemon left, one of which is actually really scary, of course, which is that Azumarill. So I'm definitely scared of the Azumarill. He's got Aromatisse, and the Alakazam actually dies on entry. So in comes Jane Fonda, which is of course his Azumarill, and I believe we can take one hit from this thing. I believe we can take one hit from this thing if he is indeed Choice Banded. Choice Banded Azumarill at level 50. We can live an Aqua Jet from an Adamant Choice Banded Azumarill. Do I think it's worth getting a close combat off here? Just going for the close combat and knocking this thing down. I'm a little bit worried about him belly drumming. It's the only reason why I'm debating on doing the close combat here, because I think saving Terrakion is nice for the Aromatisse, potentially. But I do have Mew and Nidoqueen still for Aromatisse. Alakazam dies at entry, so really the biggest thing I should have Poison Jab last turn, actually. That would have been better, because it would have killed the Salamence. That was a bad play on my part. I think just getting off damage on this thing is more important than anything, is just getting off that close combat damage. So let's just go for the close combat here. If he Aqua Jets, he won't kill us. He actually does not Aqua Jet, so he'll probably kill us. We're gonna go for the close combat. It does about 30%, which is not too bad. It does a decent amount. Now we're gonna die to whatever he goes for. He's gonna go for the Waterfall, so he doesn't have Belly Drum, it looks like, which is good. But if he is banded, then I'm really scared. I won't be able to tell if he's banded or not at this point, but he's gonna go down. So the good news is, if he's banded, I think Mew could take a hit here. Let me just double check where Mew is at against the Azumarill. Mew might be able to actually clean up here. Choice banded Azumarill with Waterfall. Obviously, I'm worried about the flinch. We do live a Choice Band Azumarill Waterfall at this range without a problem, unless there's a crit. We'll outspeed. Aqua Jet's not going to do anything. He can't Sludge Bomb us or anything like that, or I'm sorry, knock off or anything. Now Sludge Wave is an OHKO here. If he does have the Assault Vest though for some reason, then Sludge Wave might not actually kill him, which is scary, but I think that's my best play. Is we're gonna go into Mew. We're gonna go for the Sludge Wave, and hopefully it will knock out the Azumarill, and actually that should pretty much clean up the rest of the match with Mew here if everything goes well. I can take an Aqua Jet, and I should be able to take a Waterfall as well. He's not gonna outspeed us unless he's Scarfed. I'm expecting him to be Banded Azumarill, actually, which is what I was predicting him to bring this week. So we'll see what's gonna happen. He's actually gonna switch. He might just fodder off the Alakazam. That does lead me to believe he is indeed Banded. The Alakazam's gonna go down. It actually dies to Stealth Rocks, not to the Sludge Wave. So he's gonna go down. So Kazam dies to Stealth Rocks. I'm a little bit worried. If he's Scarfed Azumarill right now, that could be scary. But I don't think he is. I don't think he is. And I know we can take an Aqua Jet. Luckily for us, very, very bulky. Now he's gonna go into Beauty here. Now that's kind of interesting. Can I take on Beauty here with Mew? He's at, he's taking one hit. If he's physically defensive, a Sludge Wave actually won't kill a physically defensive one. It only does about 68%. So I think we should swap here, but his Chesticles, is there any point to going into Chesticles right now? Mew is very important right now for the Azumarill, because if he comes in and starts Aqua Jetting things, we're in trouble. This isn't over yet. If he has T-Wave, that's a bit scary as well. I think we're okay to just fire off a Sludge Wave here. It's my best play, really. Let's go for the Sludge Wave. It's our best play. It's not going to kill. It's going to do a lot, though. If he's specially defensive, that's really scary. But that's actually almost going to bring him down. He's going to go for the Moonblast, trying to get that special attack drop, which is very smart on his part. We'll see how much this does. That's going to bring us down to the point where an Aqua Jet is going to do a lot of damage. I'm actually really scared right now. I'm actually really scared. Let me do this really quick. We're going to be able to knock this thing out without a problem, but he does have assumingly Banded Azumarill, which we should be able to live in Aqua Jet at this range, actually. So let's go with the Sludge Wave. That'll knock out the Aromatisse and give us that kill right there. So that's not bad. Mew kills Aroma with Sludge Wave, and Mew's gonna pick up a nice kill there. And that just brings him down to just Azumarill, which is gonna be around half health. I don't know if we got the special attack drop. I wasn't paying attention. But I think our bet... This is scary here. I think what we need to do is just go for the Sludge Wave, really. I think that's what I need to do, because I have Shadow Sneak on Mega Sableye, and I could probably take one hit. Let me just calc Mega Sableye here. I have the game in the bag, pretty much. I don't want to risk something stupid, though. I really don't. We could definitely take an Aqua Jet, and Shadow Sneak is going to do about 15%. I think I should just Sludge Wave here, get the most damage off I can. If he goes for Aqua Jet, we should live it. Let's just go for the Sludge Wave, knock it over big. He does have the Aqua Jet. We should live this, barring a crit. We do take the hit. A Sludge Wave should knock this thing out. If not, I do have the Sucker Punch as well. That is going to come in, and it's going to knock him out. Mew is going to be able to pick up that final kill for us, and Mew kills Azumarill. And we are going to officially clinch the division for the GBA this season, picking up a nice 3-0 win over OldManTup. Great match, Tup. I really do appreciate the battle, dude. Of course, I wish you the best in the rest of your ventures. I know you have one more week left. We're going to move to 8-1, guys, in the GBA. If you did enjoy this video, please get that video to 1,500 likes, guys. I know you can do it. I'd really appreciate the support, of course. We are 8-1, guys. How sick is that right now? Coming up with a 3-0. Mew cleaning up again for the second week in a row, which is really, really awesome. Great match, though, by Tup. We had a couple bold predictions there, like the recover on the Sableye. Getting up those rocks to take out the Alakazam was huge for us, and hitting a couple Hydro Pumps worked out really well. Choice Specs Rotom, killing that specially defensive Heatran was huge, and obviously the Sludge Waves from Mew were very, very clutch. Expert Belt Sludge Waves putting in that work. Good, though. Good match, so I really do appreciate the battle, Tup. Of course, guys, check out his channel in the description. And that's going to be it for me, guys. I hope you did enjoy this match. Again, we're moving into the final week of the season, looking at 8-1, going against Steve. We'll see how that goes, man. This has been an amazing season for us. I'm very, very stoked with how we performed this season, despite the fact that a lot of people were very skeptical about how we'd be able to play with our very, very not so deep team. We have a very shallow team, I guess you could say. But I've been able to work with it and make it happen, and Nidoqueen has been such a crucial Pokemon, and really stoked of how things went. So that's going to be it for me, guys. I'm going to get the heck out of here. Hope you guys did enjoy this battle. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.